Welcome to another episode of The Raw Truth. I'm your host, BX Bad Boy, along with my co-host, my brother.
What's going on, people? What's going on, people? It's Quality Allah. How y'all doing today?
And today we'll be doing Marvel vs. DC and our opinion. And there will be follow-ups. Leave a comment and we'll discuss it. So today we're going to talk about the changes in DC Universe. And I'm going to share my screen so we can start the conversation off on exactly what I'm talking about. So according to DC Universe's Twitter page and even their main page, they're going to swap out all their content that's basically all their movies and TV shows and put them on HBO Max. I do understand that Warner Brother owns them both and can do what they want with them, and I kind of understand the idea of making it a complete comic book platform. I'm not mad at it, but now you have to buy HBO Max on top of the DC Universe to get the DC content. I mean, I think that's a little unfair. What do you think?
I am trying to figure out why. I mean, the purpose of launching the app was so that everybody could have access to the content, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is a good business decision on their part. My thing is that now what? Now I got to pay for another service to watch all this stuff that I was already watching on this service.
That's what it looks like, because so far the research is you have to get HBO Max in order to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So the subscription we have to DC Universe is only comic book based, which it wasn't the original reason why we did it.
Right.
It's almost like we might as well drop the DC Universe, pay for HBO Max, and probably still get DC Universe, which we may not. That's the other con. We may not get HBO Max and the DC Universe comic versions and his story because you have to pay for the DC Universe app, which is
exactly
problematic, and I think it's slightly unfair. I'm not mad at them, but I just think it's unfair if that's what you have to do. And so far, they don't say if you have HBO Max, you could do DC Universe Infinite, which is the new change in name. Yeah, it doesn't say. The fan favorite community era will be free to all registered and premium subscribers with a full calendar of events planned in 21. Current DC Universe subscribers will not need to create a new account as their DC Universe login will transfer to DC Universe Infinite. Well, that's one good thing, but I didn't suspect that would change anyway. Because they're probably just going to change the platform itself and just allow the same access. For DC Universe access to, oh, I already went to that. HBO Max will be, oh no, I didn't read that part. I apologize. For DC Universe subscribers who want ongoing access to premium DC originals, a special DC Universe monthly member offer to HBO has been extended in celebration of Batman Day. And the announcement of DC Universe Infinite. The special offer for eligible monthly subscriptions to upgrade their service to include HBO Max for an additional $4.99 per month for a limited time is now available to October 30th, 2020. Oops. I think we're past that.
October 30th?
2020? Oh yeah, we're in 2020. In my mind, we're in 2019. My head popped off. Okay.
It says, no, wait. Bring it back down?
Yeah, I was going to go back
HBO?
up. I was going to try to see where the link is.
HBO Max should be the home for premium video content that will include new DC series, key DC classics and the DC Universe originals like Young Justice Season 1 through 4, Titan Season 2 through 3, Doom Patrol 1 through D, and DC Stargirl Season 1. Huh. Additionally, HBO Max has ordered a third season of Warner Brothers animation for the acclaimed DC Universe adult animated comic series Harlequin, starring Kelly Cuckoo, who also serves as the executive producer during the first 2 seasons, along with Dustin Hoffman.
Will be available online, DCUniverseInfinite.com, iOS devices for $7.99 a month or $74.99 a year. So if we pay for a year subscription, it drops down $1 or so. On February 1st, 2021, every DC Universe Infinite subscriber, existing members, or those joining during the pre-order offer window will receive a special thank you voucher redeemable at DC Shop, subject to terms and conditions. Annual subscription with service, a $25 voucher, while monthly subscribers will receive a $10 voucher. Oh, so if we go a whole year, we get a $25 voucher. But if we only subscribe monthly, you're trying to get my money up front, fucker. So I'm not against it. I mean, since they extended the upgrade, I tried looking for the upgrade, and I couldn't find it. But it's got to be around here somewhere. And I didn't hear anything about Marvel doing anything like this.
I don't believe Marvel is doing anything like this. Well, that's because Marvel is on the Disney app. It's on Disney Plus. So anything Marvel related will be right there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't think Marvel is splitting their content. You know what I mean? That's what I was meaning. Like, I don't even know. I mean, I have a Marvel account, but I don't remember if they had content like DC did. So it's movies, TV shows. Because I didn't get any reports of them doing the same thing as DC. So I think only DC's doing it. But I mean, there's huge differences between DC and Marvel anyway. Like, I've always made this argument that DC and Marvel use the same characters for the most part and just change their names and slight looks. Basically, same powers. The only person that I don't think Marvel has that DC does, and I don't think they could have that character, is Superman.
Wrong.
Who do they have that replaces Superman?
The equivalent to Superman in Marvel Comics, his name is Hyperion. And there's actually a whole team, I forget the name, but there's actually a whole team that's modeled after the Justice League. Just in Marvel form. But his name is Hyperion.
So you're telling me Hyperion came from a far planet that destroyed that whole same storyline?
Something similar to it, yes.
Well, I think there's a copyright on that storyline.
And there's also I think different variations where he grew up somewhere else, something like that, so on and so forth. Right? Yeah, but there's a complete, and I mean they did it just to poke fun at DC, but there literally is a complete ripoff of the Justice League.
Is it a mockery or is it official?
Give me a second. I'll tell you right now.
Spell his name.
Give me 1 second. Hyperion. Hyperion.
Here you go.
His affiliations is with the Squadron Supreme, Thunderbolts, Avengers.
Yeah, look on your screen.
Yeah. And literally look. This is the this is the list for the Squadron Supreme, right? You got a dude named Amphibian, Dr. Spectrum, of course Hyperion, Nighthawk, Power Princess, Skrullian Sky Master, and Wizard. Can you can you figure out who Wizard is a mirror of?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a guy peeing.
The Flash.
I figured as much, but I'm thinking of a guy peeing, taking a whiz. Because that's a really stupid name.
And they've had other.
So it's part of Marvel 101?
Yeah. See, here we go. Look. Squadron member versus their JLA counterparts, right? So Hyperion is Hyperion in Marvel, Superman, DC. Nighthawk is the equivalent to Batman. Power Princess is the equivalent to Wonder Woman. Wizard is the equivalent to Flash. Dr. Spectrum is the equivalent to Green Lantern. Amphibian is the equivalent to Aquaman. Skymax, the Skrullian Sky Master, he's the equivalent to the Martian Manhunter, right? The Golden Archer, originally named Hawkeye, later named Black Archer, equivalent to Green Arrow. Lady Lark is the equivalent to Black Canary. Tom Thumb is the equivalent to Adam. Blue Eagle is the equivalent to Hawkman. Arcana or Moonglow is the equivalent to Zatanna, and Nuke is the equivalent to Firestorm. So it's the mirror. They're the mirror of the JLA, of the Justice League.
Hyperion was sent to Earth as a baby and raised by agents of the United States government. Let's see, where do they say his powers? Identity, no relatives. He ain't got no damn relatives. He's an alien. What in the blue blazes? Says his durability, energy, fighting skills, intelligence, speed, and strength are all 7'd out. That's the best way to say equivalent to Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But where's his list of powers? Let's see, unrevealed. Really? They don't know how tall he is, but they know his eyes are blue and brown hair? I think you could tell how tall he is. He's also from Earth 31916.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they don't have his powers like listed.
Here we go. Superhuman strength, speed, stamina, and durability, flight, enhanced sensory perceptions, atomic vision.
Oh, wait a minute. Before you continue. Note, this Hyperion is not to be confused with the Hyperion from Earth 712. The Grand Master created Hyperion from Earth 616. So there's
Mm-hmm.
more than there's obviously more than one, and there's significant differences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's weaker.
Yeah, because that one. Yeah, because that one, the one from Earth 712, he heals with cosmic energy, like cosmic radiation and whatnot. Like that makes him
Oh,
stronger.
holy shit! 460 pounds. That's what they got him 6 foot and 460. That's a fat mother.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still got the same other alias, Mark Milton,
Mm-hmm.
education, high school graduate. Superman's got something on him. Superman's got a college degree. There's no details on this thing. It says coming soon. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
look at your screen. It says biography coming soon. That's not helpful. The other Hyperion's got more details, and he's sevened out.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
so
the one. That's the 712. That's the one from 712, right?
no, seven
Or
twelve.
717.
No, 31916.
Yeah, yeah.
This one was created basically by someone else.
Mm-hmm.
This one is sevened out, and this one has got more details to it. Look at the storyline, or
Yeah.
the bio essentially. It says created by Hyperion from Earth 616.
Yeah.
The Prime Marvel Universe, the Hyperion who was part of the multi-universe heralds from Earth X, or King Hyperion, who has fought with the Exiles on a few occasions.
Mm-hmm.
But they got me confused. Is he an Earthling or not?
No, he's not.
This dude, the Grand Master. Him.
Yeah.
Okay. So I still don't know, man. He doesn't look like a valid comparison to me. Like he might, at the end of the day, be a good comparison. At least 39916, because he's
Mm-hmm.
sevened out. But they live their lives.
Yeah, but that's like I said. There's characters, we all know that there's some characters outright that you can tell mirror one another from Marvel and DC, right? Um, you let's just deal with the Flash for a minute, right? There's way more speedsters in the DC universe than there is in the Marvel universe.
This is true.
And in truth be told, they're not even really classified as speedsters in the Marvel universe.
Nah, you're not in Marvel. Knowing
They're
DC,
they're not even classified as speedsters.
knowing DC, they probably copywritten Speedster.
Mm-hmm. I like both of them. Here's why I get mad at DC.
Because they don't want to make good
It's
movies.
like, it's not even that. It's that you have so many other characters and you don't use them properly. You always fall back on Batman or Superman. And they don't always work out so well.
Because they fall back on the ones that had a niche. The other ones, they didn't have the same niche. And what I mean by not that they couldn't, but they didn't to start with. So they go back to the, what's the words they used to call it? When you go back to what you know best.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're going back to what's sold. Like if blondes were more popular than brunettes, most girls would be blondes because it's the more popular thing.
Yeah, that's
even
just
though,
like Yeah, that sounds like the conversation I was just having outside, man, pertaining to wrestling. Like instead of pushing the young talent, you going for nostalgia. Nostalgia doesn't always work.
It
It
worked
doesn't
for
always work.
a limited time. Like that's why they had to reinvent almost every DC character. What, 6 times? They had to reinvent them or come up with different versions of them. That's the whole point behind the multiverse, is to bring out
Mm-hmm.
different variations of the same character, trying to find which one sticks.
Indeed.
And I'm not mad at that, but I mean, it's like toying with my emotions.
It's just not happening the way it should. DC, like, if you look at the shows on the CW, and I don't even know if I can actually make this statement anymore, but once upon a time, if you looked at the shows that were on the CW, when it came to DC, they got it, right? But the movies,
Let's just make sure we classify this though. The live action movies, because their
yeah,
stuff is off the chain. Not all of it, but it's still off the
yeah,
chain. The live action shots is shot. I like seeing Superman in real life, but it it could have been better. I mean, they destroyed his whole concept the second they let him kill.
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind the killing part
I did because
because,
there's two things. Batman and Superman are known for one thing that is uncorruptible. That's why the Joker loves the Batman and hates the Batman at the same time, because he cannot corrupt him to kill. Superman was even more him. And the only way to stop Batman would have been to kill him. Superman still couldn't bring himself to kill him. Only put him in a hospital. Once you crack that, you break that barrier of giving Superman the ability to kill or the willingness to kill, you can't take it back. You can't say, oh, now I trust that he won't kill an innocent bystander or a human being that he's designed to protect. Now he's able to without the kryptonites, because he wasn't under any influence. He willfully killed another man.
you know, it's funny you mention that because, wait, I'm sorry. It's funny you mention that because, and this is a little off topic, but that's the premise. That's the premise to Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. They see him kill an innocent or something like that. That's how this game is supposed to go. That's why they go after the Justice League. They see Superman kill an innocent or a bystander or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them go after the league, right?
Well, that's what Injustice is about.
I mean, look, I didn't have a problem with it because I don't see nothing wrong with showing a darker side of a hero, right? I don't mind it. Everything that people complained about that wasn't in Superman Returns was in Man of Steel. It was, at least from my point of view. Things that people was complaining about when it came to the Man of Steel, those same implements came into play for the next movie, and people shitted on that one. A lot of people shitted on the Man of Steel. I didn't think it was too bad. I really didn't. But like I said, sometimes DC just don't seem to get it. I don't know why. I know that they can do so much better. That's why I got high hopes for Wonder Woman 1984. I really do. High hopes.
But the second you introduce darker side without any corruption, it becomes Superman or Batman, anyone who's been over the millennium by his own intent. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I find that uncomfortable because it was the one thing that Batman and Superman had in common. They both refused, no matter what, to kill. So now Superman can do it. Why can't Batman? That guy. Firstly, you don't hear me?
Going in and out.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you make Superman corruptible by his own intent, then it's done. You ruin Superman. And they're not making it like they did with the Red Sun. They didn't make it a whole new Superman. Another way of looking at him. They made it what we're supposed to follow. Because honestly, could you look me dead in the face, knowing I killed a man, and fight side by side with me? With my bare hands, because I was able to lose it that bad. You get what I'm saying? So they bypassed it with the Justice League and every Superman other than that one. But once you do that, you're a murderer. I don't really care if they did something right or wrong. You become a murderer once you're able to kill intentionally. Accidentally, I'm not saying it's okay, but it makes sense. If you and I are fighting and I punch you, and I punch you too hard, not realizing that I collapsed your lung and you die. I didn't intend to kill you.
But see, this wasn't. I don't know if you would classify. I don't know if you would classify what you saw in the Man of Steel as intentional, because you look at it from a different angle. It was about like when it came to the Man of Steel, it was about, okay, I know this dude is my family, but he's looking to destroy this whole world. I need to save this world. The only way I can do it is by destroying him. If I don't kill him, he's going to kill everything.
Yeah, but this scenario's happened at least 2 or 3 times that I'm aware of, where Superman defeated, and then he put him into the Phantom Zone. He didn't have to kill him. That's the whole thing. He didn't have to. He's defeated him in the past with, I know this is a different past because it's not for this Superman, but in the past, Superman has found a way, and that was one of his strengths that everybody cheered for. No matter what, he found a way to win without killing. You took that away the second you permitted him to kill. You know what I'm saying? Because now,
how many things have been taken away from my characters? Like, this is what happens. This is what happens when we transition. This is what happens when we transition from the comics to the movies. You understand? Nothing ever gets followed to the T.
Isn't there a comic where Superman does kill?
I believe there is, yeah.
I'm almost certain there's a graphic novel where he kills.
I have to look for it. You have to do the research on it, but there might be one.
I'm not mad. Like, I watched the movie. I have it on my computer, and I'm gonna watch the next one. I watched Justice League. But when you take the core of a character and spit it out the window, it loses something. And I mean, they glossed over it because no one discusses it. It never comes up. It's not a flashback. It never comes up except the first time Batman fought Superman. And honestly, what it looks like to me, that was an excuse to get Batman and Superman to bump heads. They didn't need it.
Well, I mean, look, the seeds for that, the seeds for this movie was planted years ago. Does anybody not remember I Am Legend?
Of course.
Okay, so again, like I said, the seeds for that movie was planted years before, just
No,
by that sign.
no, I understand that. I'm not saying that it doesn't make any sense they collide. Of course, they're meant to collide. But if you remember the first time Batman and Superman collided, they collided because Batman needed to test him on his values and the words that came out of his mouth. And he tested him to the point where he got Superman in a position he should have killed Batman, but refused. Now, how can he refuse once you cross that barrier? You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm getting at. That it makes it complicated for the core values of your character. Well, what's next? Batman's gonna wear pink. And
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter because, again, none of these movies are linked. You feel me? They're not linked like how Marvel's movies are linked.
well, Batman versus Superman is linked to Justice League. Same characters, same Superman, same Batman. So those two are linked. Now, everybody in Metropolis watched him kill a man. In lack of a better term, in cold blood. In order to stop the laser beams that he could have put his hands over his eyes like he's done in many stories in the past. Oh, still hear me? You still
Yeah.
hear me? Okay. The thing dropped. So in many storylines in the past, he's put his hands in front of people's eyes to stop the laser beam because he could take it. All I'm saying is, once you corrupt someone, how do you uncorrupt them?
Okay, so but now see again, this is why I say what I say about when you talk about DC versus Marvel, right? Because again, DC has a plethora of characters that they can get into, and they just choose not to. If you look at Marvel has experimented on both sides of the spectrum. You understand what I'm saying?
They've definitely gone better.
Experimented. Not only have they done it movie wise, but they've also done it television wise too. Because the series on Netflix, look, I don't care whether you love them or you hate them, but we can talk fair is fair. Like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and the Defenders. And the Defenders was just a limited series, but they all did well.
Yeah. My only complaint with them is it was a humaned down version of the comics. That was my only complaint. Because Iron Fist can fly. He had a lot stronger of a fist. Like
Wait, since when did Iron Fist could Iron Fist fly? I ain't never remember no Iron Fist. Iron Fist can never fly.
Let me retract that. I'm mistaken. I'm thinking about Nova. But
okay. Yeah.
Iron
Nova
Fist
can fly. Yes.
Iron Fist's power. I always get them mixed up because at one point in the comic or the comic series on TV, they switched places. They had switched powers. My mistake. I was incorrect. But it wasn't as extravagant as the comics. That's the only, and I can't even call that a complaint. That's the only thing. But it was a human version or human expectation of the situation. And I can't be mad at that.
Look, Marvel, they do good sometimes, but look, sometimes they mess up too. Let's talk about what's that movie that just came out? That's getting ready to come out. New Mutants, trash.
Isn't New
The new
Mutants
I'm
supposed to be
sorry,
the
bro.
aftermath of Logan?
It's supposed to be, yeah. It's supposed to be this. That's supposed to be the That's the last Fox movie
Yeah, but
that was on the shelf for 3 years.
yeah, but what I'm
That was the
asking,
one that was on the shelf for three
but
years.
what I'm asking, isn't that supposed to be the aftermath after Logan?
Something,
Okay.
something to that.
I
But
didn't.
it's supposed to be.
They
It's
didn't talk
supposed to be the
about it.
last. That was supposed to be. That was supposed to be the last of that X-Men saga from the Fox from Fox,
Yeah.
right? And it was, and it's because the storyline didn't really go anywhere. You feel me? You had all these great characters that could do these great things, but it never really went anywhere. It didn't go anywhere at all.
They tried.
So now you got. Okay, so here we go. So now you got, on the one hand, you got Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
And Disney Plus is get ready to give us She-Hulk, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? And whatever other series that they got lined up. I don't know if there's been any announcements on them or not yet. But you know, this stuff is coming, right? And this is going to be on the app. And then they, of course, you know, certain movies, it all depends on how movie theaters is looking in. They still might get released at home as well.
Yeah.
Right?
COVID has a
And
lot
then
to do
you
with
have
that.
right, and then you have on the other side of the spectrum, you have DC, who's now moving their original programming and all of their other content to HBO Max, and just leaving
Comics to
the
itself.
Universe app as a comic book app.
Which is
But the
where it
purpose of
started
it was to
originally,
have
I think.
right. But I thought the purpose of this app was to have all of your content in one spot. What I can say is that maybe within this 2 years that maybe they didn't get the subscribers that they thought they were going to get. Maybe it's not working out too well. And maybe that's another reason why everything's going over to HBO and Warner Brothers.
I have a little bit more of a maniacal reasoning. They're trying to combat Disney Plus, and if you keep DC Universe with all its movies and cartoons and animated and all its content, video content in the DC Universe, no one's going to Max to find it. So now all the DC Universe heads that went there to watch all those videos and movies and TV series now have to go get Max. So I think it was more of combating Disney Plus, to be honest with you.
Now, all right, so now my next question is...
Wait, before you go there, because remember, that's what Disney did. They started taking all their Marvel shit and putting it on Disney Plus.
Well, we knew that was going to happen.
So DC
But we knew, but
follows.
the thing is, we knew that, but we knew that was going to happen. We knew that was going to happen once Disney acquired Marvel Studios. We knew that. We knew that was going to happen. So we knew that anything that was related to Marvel Studios, anything that Marvel had did that was related to Marvel Studios, that we knew that Disney was going to get their hands on that.
No, I agree with you.
That's why you can find all the old Spider-Man series on there, X-Men, other ones like that, because they got all those rights back. But when you have a one-stop shop, right?
Yeah.
I figured that the fan base of DC would flock to that. You feel me?
They probably did.
Because you got there's a lot of DC heads out here, man.
let's
It
put
really is. There's a lot of DC
let's
heads
but let's
out here.
put facts where facts are, just so you know. You got HBO Go, you
Yeah.
got HBO Now, and now
Mm-hmm.
you got HBO Max. You got Disney originally, then they said, hey, Disney Plus. Then they threw Marvel on it. So what do you think HBO was going to do? Because they don't have a parent channel like Disney, known for anything but movies. So they took all their movie stuff off their Warner Brothers property and threw it on Max. They didn't throw it on Now, and they didn't throw it on Go. They threw it on Max and created Max out of fucking thin air. Because there was no Max. There was only Go and Now and HBO. So,
But wait, there wasn't an HBO. But wait, there wasn't a HBO Max channel on the cable guide. No.
no. Well, Max would be short for Cinemax. But this Max is their version of Plus. Think about it. What does Max mean? Extra stuff. Or the max level of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. What does Plus mean? Same fucking thing. Like the Note 10 Plus is all about being the best Note 10. So
see, but the Disney Plus thing is just like the plus means
more.
Well, at least in my point of view, like the plus, yeah, it means more, but it's not just. It's all of it's Disney's intellectual properties, well, some of them anyway, right? So it's their own property, Star Wars, Marvel, and ESPN.
But think about it. What's another word, a synonym for plus?
All. Have
No.
all, be all.
All would
What?
be a synonym for Max.
Right.
Plus doesn't have a synonym that I'm aware of. Okay, Google.
Okay.
What's the synonym for plus?
Here are some synonyms for plus and, added to, increased by, with the addition of, as well as.
Sentences, essentially, to describe plus. But there isn't a word to describe plus, like all and max. So HBO couldn't use plus because then we would all know for a fact, and it would become big news, that they're trying to be like Disney, because Max came out after plus. So they did exactly the same thing Disney did. They created a plus version of itself and threw Marvel on it. So HBO created a Max version of itself and threw DC on it. Because that's the only two differences.
I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure that you can access more than just DC soft off of Max anyway. So,
well, yeah, you can download, you
sure
can view
you...
any HBO movie and I think TV series. Just like on Disney, you can pretty much, whatever Disney puts on there, you have complete access to. But the only difference between the two is adding 2 comic book movies, setups, and TV shows. And they did the exact same things as one another after they promised us the DC Universe would be the universe of DC. Anything and everything DC. Now they just yanked half of the DC Universe out the app and stuck it in a Max.
Not even half, 3/4 of it. They took 3/4 out of it.
I was
just left the comics.
I was being generous.
So now back to my next question, right? Because now my next question is, how much is HBO Max? How much is this going to cost?
Well, HBO Max, I think was, I can't remember. I think it was $14.99 or more. But for us, since we have DC Universe, it's only supposed to be a $4.99 boost. So it basically it's going to cost us, what, 12, 13 bucks?
But isn't that just a promotional deal? Because that when he was reading that thing, it says it ends in October, at the end of October.
It ends in October, our ability to do so, to just upgrade our DC Universe to Max. ends in October. It didn't say the price ends in October, to be honest with you. Go away. Let's see. Alright, so 21 years. See?
Wait, go back.
Well, this is what you wanted.
Yeah, but come back down a little bit.
Well, let's finish reading this and then we'll go back up because it'll continue what we were just talking about. The DC Infinite will be available. DC Universe $7.99 a month. That's basically what we're paying now. Oh no, it's not even there. That's just how much it's going to cost.
That's what I was saying. Go back out. Stop.
See, an additional $4.99 a month for a limited
time, now available through October 30th, 2020.
Meaning we won't get this deal if we don't do it. If we do it after October 30th, we won't get the deal of $4.99 extra a month. So essentially, this is what I'm getting here. It's not limited to how often you get it. It's limited to if you do it after the 30th, you won't be able to get the additional upgrade of $4.99. It doesn't tell you what it's going to cost though if you don't get the upgrade, but it's probably going to be double the price.
Netflix numbers $15.99.
No, it's probably going to be a bit more than that because it's $7.99. So we'll say it's $8, and I can almost assume that Max is going to be another $8 or more. So we're looking at $16 or more, maybe. I don't know. If it's the same price as $4.99, I'm going to be upset. And not upset that I'm not going to do anything about it, but still be upset because you made me rush to do it, and it's the same price even after the 30th. So what the hell you're banging my skull for if it didn't change things? It's trying to get more people to it. I'd do it, but really? This is what you can do to me? Hurt my feelings. But
so this thing actually kicks off at the end of at January next year, the end of January next year.
Let's see. Fan favorite.
That's when this thing fully kicks off.
Registered premium subscribers. A full calendar event planned for 2021. Current streaming subscribers will not be able to.
No, go back up.
I am. Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Now,
the comic book service is set to launch on January 21st, 2021.
Yes, it's saying the Infinite is going to swap out for Universe.
Yeah, the Universe, yeah.
But it's not saying that's when they're removing all the videos and movies. They might do it between now and then. But Infinite launches January 21st.
Yeah.
In the next three or 4 months. We'll see. October, November, December, January. Yeah, 3 or 4 months. That's when they unlock Infinity. Or Infinite, excuse me. Which is a stupid fucking name. Can you hear me? Okay. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Universe and Infinite, one, basically mean the same thing. Two, should be reversed. It should be DC Infinite Universe, not Universe Infinite. It's bad writing, and on top of it, what's universe?
Bad writing.
It is, because universe is everything. You know what I'm saying? The word universe encompasses everything. Infinite means everything. But it should... Tell me that makes sense to you. DC Universe Infinite versus DC Infinite Universe.
Maybe they intended it to do it that way.
Well, because they don't want to lose the copyright in DC Universe setup. Because it was original DC Universe, so it will no longer be the DCU.
Mm-hmm.
It will be the DCIU.
Mm-hmm.
So they are trying to, because you know how you can lose the last name and keep the name before it? So they're doing that purposely because you can dismiss the infinite part. Because what movies you going to go see? Something from the DCU, not the DCIU, and they're not going to say DCUI. They're just going to call it the DCU.
The DCUI.
It sounds like a fucking cop pulled me over.
Infection. Sounds like an infection. That's what it sounds like.
Well, that too. I was thinking of DUI. Sound like a cop pulled me over for a DCUI.
He got a UI in his. He got a UI in his DC.
Oh man.
Wait. Yeah, I can't.
So, I'm guaranteeing you, on my word, this is what I believe because it makes the most logical sense. They did it this way specifically to keep it DCU. Because you know DC stands for something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You notice they shut it down to DC? Marvel didn't shut it down. They left it at Marvel because Marvel had a better name. I'm telling you, they did it for DCU so they can continue using it. Just like the MCU will never change. No matter what name they add to the MCU, it will follow that U. Because the I is silent.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so before we slide up out of here, because I gotta run.
Ew.
I gotta run.
You should wear diapers if that's the problem.
I gotta run.
I got you, but the way
Nah,
you
I just
said
gotta. I gotta do. Yeah, I gotta do some things around here. We can jump. You know me. You know how we do. But
yeah, we can jump on later
Too
if
much.
anything. All right, so we'll leave it at this: that we agree that DC has its strong parts that make DC badass for its own. Like they're in two different categories, just in the same field.
Yeah. That's about it.
And I mean, you got to have competition. So if there's one Superman, there technically has to be two. And I like them both. It's not like I hate either one. I mean, I'm more of a fan of Superman because I grew up with him. The other one, I don't know how old he is, but we'll look into that later in follow-up to DC versus Marvel. Catch the next episode. You know,
Wow, did your eyes just really wander off into space,
trying
bro?
to be dramatic until
It's not working.
Shut up. Next episode.
See, all right, look, I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna end the podcast. See, you be having some issues sometimes,
It's
right?
a bird.
Like
It's
you
a plane.
You up here, look, you over here looking at stuff that don't exist. Look, the last time I talked to you on the phone, you told me that you and a particular somebody was having a conversation. Wait, and I was like, yeah, okay, I was having a particular conversation. You was like, yeah, he likes to talk to an adult. And he chose you to have that conversation with. He chose you to have an adult conversation. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Stop not hurting my feelings, okay? Jackass.
Yo, nah, I got nothing but love for you, bro.
Of course. It's all fun and games. If you can't make fun of your family and friends with love and respect, then who can? But he's up there. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Super DC versus Super Marvel. I'm telling you, the next thing they're going to do is make it Super Marvel or Super DC. I'm telling you. But on that note,
Whatever works.
right? On that note, we will call it a night and a day until the next episode of DC versus Marvel. We'll pick a character and go at it. Peace. Oh,
Peace.
before we leave, please subscribe to our channel and help us get bigger and do more. We're limited to this blanket of a green screen. I thank you on that note, and leave a comment. Peace.